Today we're handing out more life lessons to Arena Zoomers. This time we're showing them the joy of not being able to play Magic because all their non-basic lands are mountains thanks to Blood Moon. And also as a bonus, we might just accidentally hardlock their creatures out of the game with Grave Pact. So here is our Blood Moon deck, and unfortunately because Wizards was afraid of offending the delicate sensibilities of historic players on Magic Arena, they banned Blood Moon in Historic alongside busted cards like Spreading Seas, which means we have to hand out this lesson in Historic Brawl. Sorry, Historic Brawl players. If you're salty because I'm Blood Mooning you in Historic Brawl, don't blame me, blame Wizards. I would rather be Blood Mooning people in Historic proper, but that's just not an option at the moment. So once I realized that if we're going to take and teach Arena Zoomers a lesson about Blood Moon, we'd have to play Historic Brawl. The question was, what is the best commander for a Blood Moon deck? So obviously, our goal is pretty simple. We want to find Blood Moon as quickly as possible, as often as possible. The faster we get down a Blood Moon, the more likely we are to really disrupt our opponent's game plan, maybe even fully lock them out of the game. The restriction on Blood Moon, that all non-basic lands are mountains, is symmetrical, like all get hate cards should be. So this means we pretty much have to be either mono red or a 2-color deck. So we don't really have an option to be like 3 or 4 or 5 colors. We really need to be in black, because black is the color with the most tutors, and we want to find Blood Moon all the time, so we really need to be black. We need to be in red. So I pretty quickly realized we need to be Rakdos to make this work. So I started looking through all the Rakdos commanders, trying to find something that like synergized with Blood Moon, that helped us find Blood Moon, that synergized with enchantments, and there's really only one commander on Magic Arena that you can argue is a good Blood Moon commander, and that is Lagomos, Hand of Hatred. So Lagomos might not look like a Blood Moon commander at first glance. It's a 3-mana 1/3. At beginning of combat on our turn, we make a 2/1 elemental with trample in haste. We sack it on our next end step. The Blood Moon part of this card is the last ability. We can tap it to tutor for a card if 5 or more creatures died this turn. So this is the only commander on Arena that is 2 colors or mono-colored, mono red, that actually can help us find our Blood Moon. So I realized, okay, Lagomos is the way we're going to go. It's like having a tutor in our command zone. Sure, we got to do some work and get some creatures on the battlefield and be able to sack them, but this is a commander that can help us find our Blood Moon, and that kind of worked out pretty well because some of our actual tutors, like Diabolic Contempt, require us to sacrifice a creature anyway, so we kind of headed down this like token sacrifice plan. We got a bunch of death triggers, a bunch of like vampiric rights, village right effects that can sacrifice stuff to draw us cards to keep us churning through our deck, and the plan is actually like super simple. We play Lagomos, we make some dorks, we sack some dorks, we find Blood Moon, and we hope that Blood Moon just hard locks our opponent out of the game. However, it gets even better. We're kind of teaching Arena Zoomers 2 lessons today. The other lesson we're teaching is a card that is also considered very, very salty by Commander players, but in a very different way than Blood Moon, and it's another Enchanted Tale, and that is Grave Pact. It turns out the Grave Pact is kind of busted with Lagomos. So Grave Pact just says, when a creature we control dies, each opponent has to sacrifice a creature. Lagomos is making a creature that dies every turn, so just playing Lagomos means our opponent is going to have to sack a creature every turn. We don't really have to sack anything because we're going to lose the elemental anyway, and this can turn into like a lock essentially because we're really good at repeatedly making tokens. We're playing stuff like Bitter Blossom to make tokens. We have tons of ways of sacrificing them. We can just make a whole bunch of tokens with something like Burn Down the House or Song of Tantanzan. So we are really, really good at powering up Grave Pact, which actually might end up being a saltier card than Blood Moon in some ways. The thing with Blood Moon is some decks are naturally going to not care about it. Some decks are going to be mono red, and then Blood Moon does nothing. Actually, any monocolor deck is probably not going to care that much about Blood Moon, especially in Historic Brawl where you got to play like 40 lands or whatever. You're going to have a lot of basics in your deck if you're monocolored. Even 2-color decks, especially if red is one of those colors, might not care that much about Blood Moon. So Blood Moon is going to be really, really good if we run into the 3, 4, or 5-color decks. This is where Blood Moon is going to really shine and hopefully just hard lock our opponent out of the game. In other matchups, we can do our same tutory tricks, but get Grave Pact and kind of just lock creatures out of the game forever and teach our opponent a lesson about this super old, very salty enchantment. And that's essentially the plan of the deck. Didn't go too deep down the land destruction plan, so there is a possibility you try to like play Blood Moon to get the non-basics and then play a bunch of land destruction to blow up the basics. We just played a land destruction deck not that long ago, and I figured it might be a little bit redundant, although we do have Sundering Titan. This is our one one big get your basic land card. Blows up a basic land of each type. So in theory, Blood Moon shuts down the non-basics, then Sundering Titan comes down, gets rid of our opponent's basics, make sure they're hard locked out of the game. Otherwise, the deck is just a bunch of cool like sacrifice synergies, got some other new cards like Decadent Dragon. We make a bunch of tokens, we sack a bunch of stuff, we draw a bunch of cards. Hopefully Blood Moon lock you out of the game. So that is how we're teaching Arena Zoomers about Blood Moon, and as a bonus, Grave Pact. That's our deck for today. So let's jump into some games and hand out some life lesson to Zoomers about one of the most hated and one of my personal favorites in the history of Magic. Thanks for watching, everyone. Enjoy the games, and I'll be back in a bit for the wrap up. Need some Blood Moons of your own? Well, you can snag them from our sponsor, Card Kingdom, over at cardkingdom.com/mtggoldfish. We are teaching Arena Zoomers about Blood Moon. Unfortunately, in Historic Brawl, do we keep this? I think we free mull. This hand just doesn't do anything, and it definitely doesn't have a Blood Moon. We really want to be able to tutor up Blood Moon, or at least like put things on the battlefield. Well, this hand's not a ton better, but I guess we can keep it. I don't really want to go to 6, opponent. Tap land. Ooh, that's actually a very nice draw. Goblin Bombardment makes this hand way better. So we can Goblin Bombardment next turn. Ugh, basics. Where's all the 5-color decks? We need more 5-color decks. All right, let's get a mountain. Play a Swamp. Play Goblin Bombardment. So Ezuri is a 3/3. A 3/3 indeed. Let's play the land and just run out our commander and go to combat. And then sack the token. Gonna die anyway. Lagomos actually kind of a sneaky good commander for this deck. Very synergistic, and eventually it might be able to tutor up our Blood Moon. More importantly, the token's gonna let us kill this Ezuri. So we untap Costly Plunder. So play the land. Chandra. Make some tokens. Eaten Alive to get rid of Ezuri. And wow, okay. We're playing a random uncommon commander. It's not even like busted, but apparently our deck is busted. We interacted. It's almost like we collector-roofed them. We collector-roofed them right out of their will to play Magic. Didn't even need a Blood Moon to get the turn 4 scoop. I'm curious how effective Blood Moon's gonna be in this format. I really wish it was legal in Historic. I mean, I know why it can't be. I get it. It's probably definitely correct to not actually be legal in Historic, because it would make people very salty, but I really wish I could make a video about it. Oh god, we're gonna get crushed. I don't think I ever beat Xenagos. Xenagos is so annoying, and it's doubly annoying for our deck, which just can't deal with it. Yeah, we're gonna mulligan. All right, I mean, this will keep. We can Grim Tutor with this hand, which is something. I mean, I guess actually we really need to draw one more land. If we don't draw one more land, this hand's gonna be very sad. I'm super scared of Xenagos. Xenagos just like ramps and plays Xenagos and we die. And a basic, boo. Well, how about a Cauldron Familiar? Cauldron Familiar is not the worst. At least it's something we can sack to Deadly Dispute to hopefully hit our land drop. Another basic, and it's a mountain, and it's a Cold Steel Heart. Okay. That's not a land. Well, all right. Actually, no. Hang on. Don't want to leave a damage on the table. Now we will Deadly Dispute the cat. We really got to hit a land here. Really. All right, sort of. Maestro's Theater. It is a land. It counts. Swamp. Paradise Druid, so Xenagos gets to come down next turn. So Blood Moon, our opponent has played all basic lands. Budget players ruining our day. This is real bad. You know what? Let's Grim Tutor. I don't know if we can tutor for anything that stopped Xenagos though, because it's not even a creature. Oh, that's so rough. I guess Chaos Warp, sort of. You know what? I think we're Grim Tutoring for a land. As rough as that feels, we are going to Grim Tutor for Blood Crypt. And then we're gonna play Blood Crypt, untapped, and then we're gonna play Jadar. Well, this doesn't look like a very good Blood Moon matchup anyway, and it's definitely not a good matchup for any deck we play. So I guess our hope is our opponent just doesn't have a big creature. Plays a land. Xenagos. Indestructible. Also, not even a creature. We draw Phyrexian Tower. Well, play the land. I mean, I expect we just straight up die this turn. Play a Fable of the Mirrorbreaker. Make a dork. Play Thematic Compass. And I guess we attack because we're gonna lose this zombie anyway. Haha! Down to 21. Opponent untaps. Okay. I honestly don't think I've ever beat Xenagos in Historic Brawl. I think it's partly because I'm always trying to do something janky and cool, and I'm not just like, oh, I'm gonna play every counter spell. If you're just like playing a control deck, you probably never lose to Xenagos, but our deck is like, we're really just hoping that our opponent low rolls and like doesn't find a finisher. Xenagos, if you cannot deal with it, is one of the most busted commanders imaginable. Well, I think we keep this. So this doesn't give us a Blood Moon immediately. It doesn't give us an immediate Blood Moon, but I feel like Goblin Bombardment could be very good against our opponent's deck. Let's take a Swamp. Schwamp. Yeah, let's just play a Shambling Ghast. Maestro's Theater. Grab a Swamp. Playing all these janky fetch lands because we need to get basics to play around our own Blood Moon. Llanowar Visionary. We can kill this. Do we want to kill this? We could Red Source, Goblin Bombardment, snipe it, shoot it. You know what? I think Braids is better. Let's play Braids. No attacks. Sack the Shambling Ghast. So opponent's got to sack the Llanowar All right, let us draw. We draw. We will make a treasure. Blood Moon would actually be pretty good here. Opponent's going to run out the Tyvar and untap the Dork. We really need a token. I think what we do is play Lagomos, play Terramorphic Expanse, go to combat, no attacks. Oh, we can discard? Discarding might be even better here. Let's discard. Yeah, this is better. So we discard to kill the Tyvar. Get rid of this Red Sun's Twilight, which is probably going to do nothing against elves. We should be able to stack our triggers to get a Braids trigger here. So end of turn. Yeah, there we go. All right, so Braids gets to sack the Dork. Our opponent either lets us, Braids is so good with Lagomos. Opponent lets it go, gets strayed. All right, well, we have survived Tyvar number 1. Arcane. Oh, we discarded the Red Sun's Twilight. They are playing artifacts. I wouldn't think an elf deck would play like any artifacts, but an opponent's going to putrefy. Okay, well, sack this, grab a Swamp. At least we're getting our mana built up a bit. Back to the command zone. Opponent passes. Well, play the land. Dreadhorde Invasion. Transmogrant's Crown. Pass the turn. I think we're going to say no to Braids. Opponent. Rex Age. Going after the Dreadhorde Invasion. Sure. And, oh, Eldritch Archdruid. Do this, actually. So if we Structural Assault, we get the Arcane Signet and the Transmogrant Crown and kill the Elf Lord, and we keep our Braids. Yeah, let's do that. So sweep them, hit you with the Braids down to 18. We just really cannot let the Elf Lord live. The Elf Lord is way too powerful. Opponent, land, and Oracle of Moldiah. Land off the top. Just Pharaoh Sentinel. Opponent gets in, hits us. Just kidding. Well, let's play a Solemn Simulacrum. Well, let's grab a Swamp. No sacrificing. Opponent, land. Tyvar Kell is back. Counters on the Visionary. Sure. Circle of Dreams Druid. Well, play the land. Replay Lagomos. Goblin Bombardment. Go to combat. Everything at the Tyvar Kell. Wow, opponent's just gonna chump. Okay. I mean, this is still fine. So we kill the Circle of Dreams Druid. We Goblin Bombardment the token. Pass the turn. Do we sack? Probably not this turn. I think we need to Vampiric Rites the Solemn, probably. We need to find, like, an actual sweeper. Herald's Horn. Yep. And But I have so many elves that make so much mana. Opponent, no blocks. Can we find a Wrath of some kind? We untap. Oh, this is gonna be brutal, but I think what we have to do is 1, 2. Wish Claw. Get Grave Pack. Play Grave Pack. Go to combat. No attacks. Village Rites. End of turn. Sack the token to Braids. Opponent sacks. Oh, we are going to get to keep something. Grave Pack triggers. Opponent has to sack. Oh, this Grave Pack. Maybe we're teaching Arena Zoomers about Grave Pack. I thought we were teaching Arena Zoomers about Blood Moon, but in this case, it might actually be a Grave Pack lesson. Yes, we would like to draw a card with our Solemn. Yes, we would like you to sack. And then I think we actually just sack the Braids too. And then this should let us tutor with Lagomos. Yeah, let's tutor. Let's take Beseech the Mirror. That seems good. I don't know what we want to tutor for, so when in doubt, tutor for more tutors, I guess. Opponent, do you have an elf on top? Well, we found a Wrath. It's Grave Pack. Opponent, a Leaf Gilder. Not as scary on an empty board, though. And Tyvar's up to 8 mana. They do get to Wish Claw, so we'll see. They probably have to Wish Claw for something that kills Grave Pack, honestly. Because if they don't, this Grave Pack is just going to keep wrecking them. Grave Pack is a brutal card if you're not used to playing against it. So we get back the Wish Claw. Wow, Vanquisher's Banner, okay. I don't know about this plan, but sure. Leaf Gilder draws a card. And opponent plays a land. Well, we do want to kind of kill those artifacts. Step 1, let's Wish Claw Talisman. How can we kill the artifacts? How much does Blood Moon do? We did plan on tutoring. Not much at the moment. It's so late. They'll still have 2 of each color. I don't even think we can take Blood Moon here. Yeah, let's take Virtue. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we can play the land. Kill the Leaf Gilder. Go to combat. Make a token. Hit ya. Beseech the Mirror. The token. And opponent scoops it up, and that is Lagomos power. That is Lagomos power. Actually, that was Grave Pack power. Grave Pack might be the real winner here. Blood Moon, it seems like in historic, we need to run into like a 5-color deck. That's where we get them. That's where we get them. Against these 2-color decks, people play a lot of basics. It might also partly be because it's like a sort of budget-friendly format. Like, since it's not a ranked format, there's not really a pressure to like, oh, I'm gonna play all the, oh god. See, like, our opponent, they're Giada, they're gonna be playing a million planes. A million planes. Well, I mean, we're gonna keep this. Unfortunately, we're on the draw. I imagine this is not a great Blood Moon matchup. You know what it will be, though, is it'll probably be a great Grave Pack matchup. Maybe we gotta change the title of the video to Teaching Arena Zoomers About Grave Pack. Youthful Valkyrie. Well, play the land, and I guess Transmogran's Crown. Go. Opponent land. Giada. Grows the Valkyrie. Yeah. We might be too slow on the draw here. Play a land. I guess Mayhem Devil. About it. All planes. The worst Blood Moon of all time. Alright, Seraph of Dawn, getting massive, goes attacking. Yeah, we were getting absolutely wrecked. We can't even play the Chandra. Alright, GG Angels, GG. We are trying to teach some Arena Zoomers about the joy of Blood Moons, and we don't have a Blood Moon or a tutor. Oh, this hand's actually sketchy. Are we going to 3? Going to 6? We might be. Not a great hand for Phyrexian Tower. We're gonna mulligan one more time. All right, this will keep. Let's put Virtue to the, actually, let's put Altar of Ball to the bottom for now. I mean, it seems like this should be a matchup where Blood Moon is good. If you're playing Aragorn, you gotta be playing a lot of non-basics, right, just to make it work. So this might actually really, truly, finally be our chance to teach some Arena Zoomers about Blood Moon, assuming we can find it. Fabled Passage, go. We need a tutor. That's what we really need. The scary thing is, Aragorn is a very, oh yes. Oh, this is like the Blood Moon dream. Finn the Fang Bear. We'll crack this. Play him out and play a Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Pass the turn. Oh, come on, Magic Gods. Show us a Blood Moon. Oh, there's a basic. All right, that's one basic. That's still not a ton. Hajar. We get poisoned. Hallelujah. Oh, thank you, magic gods. Thank you, magic gods. We'll discard this mountain. We'll draw a swamp. We'll play a swamp. We will Virtue. Oh, does this get the concession? Virtue the Hajar. Opponent can't sack to fizzle it. That's fine. We go to combat. Gonna make a treasure. And now we make some Arena Zoomers cry. Blood Moon? Enjoy your mountains. Enjoy your mountains, friend. Hopefully you have some bait. Oh, it's a mountain. Wait, how did... Oh, Thalia. Okay, opponent's sticking it out. I can respect that. Our opponent is not just giving up in the face of adversity. I would probably be giving up in the face of adversity if I was our opponent, but they're sticking it out. Let's play a Mayhem Devil. Attack with the Goblin. Sack the Goblin, draw some cards. Ping the Thalia. Sack a treasure for no value to ping the Thalia. Well, watch us get poisoned out. That would be hilarious. You have a basic. Show us that base. Oh, it's a command tower. Probably better known as a mountain. Opponent's gonna blow up our Mayhem Devil, sure. We better not die to this Finn. If we get poisoned out by this Finn, I am going to be so salty. Bearby. We're blood mooning people, bud. How do we kill this Finn? Oh, this should work, right? So we can play Chandra off the treasure. I expect this actually probably does it. Actually, this doesn't kill the Finn still. Let's tick down Deadly Dispute. Cast it. Sack the Clue. Play a Swamp. Play a Braids. Pass the turn. No sacrifice. Okay, we will block this Finn with the Braids. I feel like if we get rid of this Finn, we win the game, right? Our opponent's got 1 planes in all. How do they keep drawing things they can cast? I can't believe our opponent hasn't given up. Opponent goes attacking. Well, I mean, unfortunately, we do need to get rid of this Finn, so we're gonna block. With the Finn down, though, I don't know how we really lose from here. Black market connections. Tick up Chandra, make a couple of tokens. Lagomos. And a land. What a beautiful mana base. What a beautiful mana base. Oh, this is pretty satisfying. Opponent. Oh, it's another mountain. How long does our opponent go before they just give up? We will block and get rid of the... I mean, if we just keep killing our opponent's stuff, how are they possibly going to win this game? So, all 3 modes. Chandra, tick it up. Thematic Compass, get a basic. I mean, we're not being impacted by this Blood Moon at all. Like, not even a little. Whoa, Strider. Go to combat. Make a dork. Attack, attack, attack. I think we want to tutor with Lagomos this turn. So we hit our opponent. Those are gonna die anyway. Sack this. Sure, whatever. Sack this. Sure, whatever. End of turn. Everything else sacrifices. 5 creatures. Tutor with Lagomos. And I think we just get the Sundering Titan to finish him. This should be it. We can get rid of the last basic and leave our opponent with a... Oh, opponent. Oh, that's so brutal. Opponent's thinking, oh, we might have done it. We might have got out from under it. All 3 modes. Do them all. Play the land. Go to combat. Sundering Titan. You... We were gonna leave our opponent. They have so many beautiful dual lands, 5 color lands, and we're gonna leave them with the all mountain mana base after the Sundering Titan. You know. Well, that's how you teach an Arena Zoomer about Blood Moon. Unfortunately, in Historic Brawl, because that's the only option, but still. We are trying to teach some Arena Zoomers about Blood Moon, although this might not be the best Blood Moon matchup. Our opponent appears to be, you know what, we're just gonna play the no value Bajuka Bog. Opponent appears to be mono white. That is the downside of trying to teach Seamers about Blood Moon, is sometimes they naturally are prepared for it. Well, let's Priest of Forgotten Gods. I mean, we can beseech the mirror for Blood Moon at some point, although honestly, this is most likely gonna be a Grave Pact kind of matchup. Yeah, let's just play the land, Lagomos. Make a dork, attack with the dork. I don't really want to sack the Lagomos. I think we wait. It's only an Impassioned Orator. Next turn we can Unlucky Witness. Sack the token and the Unlucky Witness. Heliod. Sure. Well, play a Swamp. Unlucky Witness. Go to combat. No attacks. Priest of Forgotten Gods. Sack and sack. Get rid of the Orator. Oh, we can't cast any of those things. Well, let's make a skeleton. Play the Ultra Ball. Sadly lose our cool dragon and Song of Tum-Tum. I cannot say that word. Tauntintans. Opponent seal away. Definitely going for Priest, right? That makes sense. Let's just Mountain Garna. Make a dork, go to combat, smack you for a bunch. Then we ping for 1. Yeah, Garna seems good. Man, we're like uncommon commander.deck here. And next turn we can beseech. We'll see what our opponent does. Oh no, Book of Exalted Deeds. Heliod. Actually, let's play Valakut Awakening as a land. Go to combat. Beseech the mirror. Sack the dork. Ping ya. Oh, I bet our opponent scoops. Grave Pact is so brutal here. Get the Grave Pact, play the Grave Pact. End of turn. Oh, we have to sack our token, which means you have to sack your Heliod. And your go, opponent. Grave Pact might actually be the real salty card in this deck. The goal was to teach Arena Zoomers about Blood Moons, but I think really we might be teaching them how incredibly brutal Grave Pact is in a deck that's built around it a little bit. I mean, I guess we don't really care what lessons we're handing out to the Arena Zoomers, as long as they're learning. That's an important thing, right? It's like one of those small rural high schools where the same teacher like teaches every class. That's us this week. Blood Moons, Grave Pacts, whatever. We'll teach about all of it. Unclear how many lessons we will hand down against Tatyova. I am very, very scared of Tatyova. Well, I mean, we're gonna keep this. There's a world where, oh, that gets a basic. Wait, does that even get a basic? Oh, it gets an island, I see. I thought it didn't get any of their colors somehow, but they can get an island. Maybe Blood Moon still helps. It's gonna shut down fetch lands, that's something. Yeah, let's just Cabreti Courtyard. In this match, it might be that an Arena Zoomer teaches us about landfall in Simic. Play Tatyova such like a hilariously powerful commander. Just because how it lines up with so many green ram spells. It might be worse in Brawl though. You don't have as many good ram spells in Brawl because they're just not on all on Arena. But in Commander, Tatyova's just like, hey, I play all the cards I wanted anyway, and I draw 1,000,000 cards and gain 1,000,000 life. Opponent forced and passing. Well. Oh, this is actually intriguing now. So we have two options. We could Bitter Blossom, Diabolic Intent to get Blood Moon into... You know what? Let's play a Eurozosworn. I think our best bet is to try to snowball this into tutoring. Tireless Provision. Get a counter. Bitter Blossom. Mountain. Go. So this can make a treasure to ramp into Tatyova. How do we kill Tatyova before it snowballs us? Treasure. Tatyova. Okay, so we have to kill Tatyova this turn somehow. Opponent gets in, hits us. Diabolic Intent. Sack the Fairy. What is our best way to kill Tatyova? Sack or discard. All right, we're going to take Bone Shard. Play the land. Additional cost. Discard a Cauldron Familiar. Well, that was not the most exciting use of a tutor ever, but if our opponent untaps with Tatyova, it's going to go very poorly for us. Yeah, Blood Moon not looking great. So I think our theory with this deck is, goal 1, teach Arena Zoomers about Blood Moon. If it's a bad Blood Moon matchup, then we're trying to teach about Grave Pact. So I guess our focus is going to be finding Grave Pact then and just using that to repeatedly wrath everything our opponent plays. All right, Tatyova up to 7 mana. This Tireless Provisioner is still an issue, but that should buy us a turn at least. Forest, treasure. Boy, I gotta kind of kill this Tireless Provisioner too. There's a lot of things we need to kill. Perennial Behemoth. We do get to keep attacking because it says menace. So either we get rid of the Tireless Provisioner or keep getting counters. Lano, more elves. Ooh, maybe not. All right. So we need to kill the Behemoth and the Tireless. We need to kill everything. We need it all to die. It all must die. Opponent hits us. Play the land. I guess we just have to Chandra back the Bone Shard. Chandra, Bone Shard. Bitter Blossom token, kill the Behemoth. Get him with the Arazosworn. I mean, we're one hit away from getting to tutor with it somehow. Pass turn. So our opponent can kill the Chandra. That's sad but fine. See if they can Tatyova. If they can Tatyova, at least they're gonna have to Tatyova after they played their land for the turn. So then hopefully we can find another way to kill it. Sword of Fortune Frontier, okay. I mean, this is kind of fine. Sword is very good. I don't even know if they can attack us though, or they're gonna leave the Chandra alive. Can you really afford to leave Chandra alive? Wow, they are. All right, they're gonna hit Chandra for 1. I mean, this is kind of fine because it's gonna give us a lot of sack fodder, so we can refill our hand next turn. Opponent hit Chandra for 1, hits us down to 10. I guess we are kind of dying, aren't we? How do we get to 10? What do we even take damage from? Has it just been this Tireless Provisioner? All right, opponent passes. We untap. Bitter Blossom. I mean, we get to tutor, right? This Arazosworn actually is gonna let us tutor. We draw a Mountain. Well, make elementals. I think this is the first time I've ever actually fully leveled up an Arazosworn. We're actually gonna tutor with it. Question is, what do we tutor for to get out of this situation? Attack, attack, attack. So opponent goes to 10, we get to tutor, and then this gets to tutor every turn it gets in now? Wait, is this card busted? I guess I didn't connect that this, after you level it up, you get to tutor every time it hits. All right, we gotta be able to find something. I mean, worst case, we can get targeted removal to kill the Tireless Provisioner. Not thrilling, but maybe necessary. Yeah, I think we just have to get a removal spell, unfortunately. Yeah, I think we just gotta get removal. Take it eaten alive. Get rid of the Tireless Provisioner. Well, maybe we're not going to learn a lesson about Simic. Our removal's been good enough somehow to just keep us in this game. Opponent's trying to think, like, so they can sack Shire Terrace, make back the treasure. So I guess you might as well. It's like essentially free. We do need to be aware of this coming back from the graveyard. We're at 9. We do take 1 from Bitter Blossom each turn. Wait, is this just Salty Rope because we cast a Eaten Alive? We have cards that'll make you salty, but I didn't realize Eaten Alive was salty ropeable. If it was a Grave Pact, I would get it. Or a Blood Moon, sure. Yeah. Like, reaction justified, but Eaten Alive on your Tireless Provisioner. Our opponent's salting out over a removal spell. I mean, maybe they disconnected. I always got to remember that people play Arena on mobile, and it's like definitely possible that someone's just playing on mobile and it's really clunky and they're not actually being salty. Well, play that. Well, actually, you know what? They can put the sword on this elf, so let's just get rid of the elf too, in case our opponent decides to return. Well, board swept. Best turn. Opponent. I mean, I guess we taught about Bitter Blossom. That's another new card. Our opponent's playing again. They were salting. Tatyova and die, I hope. They can't block the Arazosworn. That's going to be an issue for our opponent. There's got to be a way we can win from here. Make the fairy, obscure a storefront. Well, play Lagomos. Make some elementals.
Go get him.
Opponent blocks. Oh, it only tutors once? That's sad. Well, we can get the boringest win of all time. Sack to make a food. Food to get back the cat. And that looks like... Why does this only tutor once? Whenever you're... Let me read this card. Oh, okay. So it does only tutor once. So it starts as a 2/2. It grows to a 6/6. I see. So the last part of if it has exactly 4 counters on it, you get to tutor, is dependent on the first part, which is putting a +1/+1 counter on it. So if you don't put a counter on it, which after you get to 4 counters, you don't, then you don't get the last part. So I guess you'd have to like remove a counter from it and then you could do it again. But all right. I mean, that was still actually very impressive. We didn't do any of the salty stuff, but we got to see our Swarm go off, which was sweet. We are trying to teach some arena zoomers about Blood Moon. Sadly in Historic Brawl, because Wizards too scared of Blood Moon to let it be played in a real format. We do have our lands. This Plum of the Forbidden is a good card eventually. Yeah, I think we mulligan. Trying to mulligan into something that does something a smidge faster. All right, well, we got a bunch of black manas. Leyline of Combustion, okay. Well, that's kind of scary. Sundering Titan. Well, Sundering Titan could be really good eventually. Yeah, let's just crack this now. Technically correct to like wait so your opponent doesn't know what land you're getting, but too lazy for that. It just really doesn't. The edge you get in a situation like this from waiting to crack your fetch land is like so incredibly tiny to the point where you could argue it's like non-existent, especially on Arena. Merfolk Branch, Waka. Gonna keep the ramp or mill the ramp? Why does that say alchemy on it? That is a real blood artist. That is a real blood artist. It's not it's not a fake blood artist. I'm so confused. Oh, maybe because there's an alchemy card that creates it? Interesting. Gonna do a little branch walking. Sure. How do we beat a Klothys? Oh, opponent's like a straight up explore deck. Interesting. Gets a land. I mean, we're gonna get multiple blood artist effects on the battlefield. I think we just play the land, play Bastion. Get down blood artist number 2. No attacks. Maybe we can just blood artist our way through this. I don't think Leyline of Combustion really matters. Yeah, I think we just block. I think next turn we're probably playing Lagomos in Storefront. Oh god. Whoa, we're getting Leyline wrecked. Oh, I didn't consider that. Blood artist targets, that's very awkward. Oh, that's super duper bad. Well, in that case, we're gonna play a land and play a Pitiless Plunder. But we actually just might be in a bit of trouble here. Who plays Leyline in Commander and who has it in their opening hand? What are the chances? What are the chances for the Leyline wreckage? Gonna need a land to make some mana. Oh, good old blood artist. Printed so long ago it actually targets an opponent, which is very awkward with Leyline. Scoop Swarm, okay. I mean, they get in with the Klothys, yeah. All right, we will take the Klothys beats down to 15. We draw a Witch's Oven. If we play Chandra, we make tokens. Blood artist damages us. Well, we're definitely playing Obscura Storefront. We could play Lagomos. Lagomos gives us 1 treasure. Yeah, let's play Chandra. Let's make elementals with Chandra. Play Witch's Oven. Pass the turn. Sack the elementals. We get 2 treasures. We get a little wrecked by this Leyline. Yeah, we're probably gonna have to sack this. We're probably gonna have to sack this blood artist at some point because it is killing us. Yeah, eats the land, does some ramping. I mean, we can sack it to Nasty End off the treasures. We need something. We need maybe a Grave Pact? Scoop Swarm's even good against Grave Pact opponent. Gift Paradise, Ramps gains life, sure. If our opponent doesn't have a land, this is a little better because at least they're not scooting. Block, and Nasty End. Sack the blood artist to draw a couple cards. Leyline of Combustion doing what it does. Costly Plunder and Wishclaw Talisman. Oh, don't kill our Pitiless Plunder. We need that. Cultivate. Okay. Is there a way we can get Grave Pact down? 1/2/1, 1/2/3. We would actually like to draw land. Oh, this is gonna double Scoot Swarm though. Oh god, okay. We need a new plan that does not involve dying to Scoot Swarm. I guess we gotta get a sweeper. All right, opponent, yep, gonna do Scoot things. and plays a land to do scoot things. Oh, we untap. We draw Obnixilis. Okay. We can Obnixilis. That's also not that good. Does it keep us alive, though? At some point, we're going to need a sweeper. All right, let's make elementals with Chandra. Casualty Obnixilis. Sacking an elemental. Make 2 Obnixilises. Make a treasure. Make a devil. Take up Obnixilis. Play Wishclaw Talisman. So this is gonna die anyway. Yeah, let's sack the elemental, make a food and a treasure. Pass the turn. So what we're probably gonna have to do, try to stay alive. Obviously, step 1. I think we're gonna have to Wishclaw a sweeper. I think that's our most realistic plan here. Elvish Visionary. If we Witchclaw like Spiteful Banditry, we can sweep the board. Giving our opponent a Wishclaw is obviously bad, but I think that's our best bet here because we got to get rid of these scoots because our opponent's going to make a lot of scoot swarms. Opponent goes to combat. Opponent. I mean, our Obnixilises are probably going to die. I don't think we can actually keep them alive. Ooh, are they going to risk their scoot swarms? Oh, well, if we can deal with the scoot swarms, that's actually pretty sweet. Block here, block here. Lose our planeswalkers, but get rid of the scoot swarms. Insect? We do take some damage. Yep. And the pitiless plunderer stands alone. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Untap. I mean, we're definitely tutoring. I'm actually not sure if we can tutor our way out of this because of the Gargaroth now. Yeah, let's just Spiteful Banditry. Get the banditry. Sack the pitiless plunderer. Banditry for 6. I mean, opponent does get to keep the Klothys, but we get rid of everything else. And we get a treasure, and we play the tap land. All right, pass the turn. Our opponent also has the Wishclaw, but if they Wishclaw, we also get to Wishclaw. Hopefully they can't Wishclaw for something that literally just straight up kills us. But we really needed to reset the board there. We were falling very far behind on board. I do like Spiteful Banditry quite a bit. The treasure production, I think, makes it worth the inefficiency. What a bad Blood Moon matchup. They got a bunch of basic forests, and then their other lands, they probably don't care if they're mountains. Bounded Explorers. Ooh. I mean, maybe they just don't Wishclaw. That's also possible. Like, maybe they don't want us to tutor again. Passes. Well, we will Cabretti Courtyard. We could run out Sundering Titan. I don't know if it's worth it. We blow up one of our swamps and 2 of our opponent's lands. Funny enough, they put the Gift of Paradise on their command tower. So they put it on a land that we actually can't blow up, which is normally you put it on a basic because of like Field of Ruin effect. So our opponent got us there. Yeah, let's Lagomos. Pass the turn. Costly plunder the elemental. Thankfully, Bastion does not target, unlike the Blood Artist. So we get some free life gain there, a double land. Yeah, I guess that's it. Well, next turn we might be playing Sundering Titan just because we don't have anything else to do. About it, adapt Klothys. We are on this Klothys clock too. How do we stop a Klothys? I guess Chaos Warp temporarily gets rid of it. All right, opponent gonna eat the Pitiless Plunder. These indestructible enchantment commanders can be tricky to beat. Opponent gonna do some ramping. If our opponent was actually doing things, we might be in trouble, but the last couple turns, they've just essentially been playing ramp spells. Whenever you, or at least one permanent you control, so if we do Sundering Titan, we will have to take 2. At some point, it's got to be tempting for our opponent because they're not doing anything. So it's got to be tempting to be like, I could get my best card. Sweltering Suns to kill Lagomos. Well, we will sack it. Put it back in the command zone. Drain ya. Passes. Ooh, Bitter Blossom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we can play Lagomos, play Bitter Blossom. We can also just cast a Sundering Titan. That's bigger. Let's Sundering Titan. I think we play the Sundering Titan. So we lose a swamp. Our opponent loses 2 lands. And we get a 7/10, which is the biggest upside. Wait, why did this not trigger? Whenever you, or at least one permanent you control, a land as a permanent, becomes a target of a spell or an ability an opponent controls. Oh, Sundering Titan doesn't actually target. When it enters or leaves the battlefield, choose a land of each basic land type, then destroy those lands. Yeah, there's actually no targeting on Sundering Titan, so haha, take that, Leyline of Combustion. Come on, Wishclaw opponent. I mean, if they blow up the Sundering Titan, that's mine. We could sack the Sundering Titan even. Lose another swamp, our opponent loses 2 more lands. Sundering Titan's like supposed to be our way to keep our opponent off basics. Oh, they're gonna do it. Well, maybe they just tutor up something that destroys all enchantment or artifacts. That would be bad. If they do that and we lose all of our artifacts, yeah, that would be, if they have it in their deck, that's probably the best tutor target. Because then you get rid of the Wishclaw too, so we don't get to tutor again. If we get to tutor again, I actually have no idea what we tutor for. I mean, we can tutor for the Blood Moon. They have this Gift of Paradise. What are the chances? Gift of Paradise. So you put our opponent down to like 2, 3 green sources? That doesn't seem that great. Yeah, 2 color decks that have red in them seem like, I guess monocolor decks might be the worst actually. Cinder Vines, okay. Wow, was that their tutor target? Are they just tutoring up Cinder Vines to blow up the Witchclaw? I mean, Klothys is indestructible, so it doesn't die, but maybe they're gonna blow up this Sundering Titan? Okay, well, we will sack it. The problem with all this land destruction is our opponent has his Klothys out, so we're the one on the clock mostly. Well, we still have our Wishclaw though. We do get a one mana demonic tutor. We draw a Boon Shard. Well, I mean, hard to pass this up. I have no idea what we're going for, but Wishclaw Talisman. There's got to be something sweet we can get. So our graveyard's getting exiled, so Virtue's not good. You know what? I'm going to take Decadent Dragon. I don't know if this is correct, but we got some treasures. So we will 1, 2, play a Bitter Blossom, play a Blood Crypt tapped. Are we scrying? We have trimmed back our opponent's mana a bit, which is nice. So we can Decadent Dragon. Ooh, let's see how they scry here, actually. If they scry to the top, I think we just Decadent Dragon now to get them. Come on, 2 to the top, 2 to the top, 1 to the top. All right, one is enough. We have some expensive tastes, opponent. We will take 2. Ooh, Abundant Harvest, eh? Gonna try to Abundant Harvest us, opponent. Tisk tisk. We are gonna die to this Klothys, but down to 12. Opponent passes, down to 11. I mean, we have a million food we can sack. At some point, we can just spend a turn sacking food. I take it back about Spiteful Banditry. We haven't drawn hardly anything. Well, let's play the Scry land. See if there's anything we really want on top for this Abundant Harvest. Let's go bottom. I don't think we need Lord Skitter. So put that to the bottom. Let's leave up double food sacking. Abundant Harvest we can cast off our land next turn. All right, so opponent drains us. I mean, our food and our Bastion is like kind of keeping up with Klothys. This has actually been the longest, most interesting game we've played with this deck. No Blood Moons or Grave Pacts involved, but this has actually been a very back and forth interesting game of Historic Brawl. Oh, God, okay. Phaleth, gonna do some, well, good thing we blew up some lands. Phaleth the World Sculptor turns on Klothys. The Shadow Sphere is also gonna eventually be an issue. All right, there's the land. We will do a little blocking and a little sacking to make a little food, and then, haha, amass 1. Got him. All right, make the token. There's a Braids. Abundant Harvest, non-land. Get an Unlucky Witness. Play the Unlucky Witness. Bone Shard. Sack the Unlucky Witness. Kill the Phaleth. Draw a couple cards for the turn. Take a bunch of damage. Goes Line of Combustion. Sure. Get a Treasure. Play Phyrexian Tower. All right, go to combat. Hit you with a dragon. Make another treasure. Play Braids. Yeah, let's sack an artifact. They can sack the Wishclaw here. They probably should sack the Wishclaw here. Wow, they just let it go. Ooh, Deadly Dispute. That's actually a pretty good draw. Little worried about the Shadow Sphere. The trample here is a concern, but our opponent's down to 12. Is there a way we can just win? We have Garna, which is more damage if we sack our creatures. We could really use a repeatable sack outlet. If we could just sack our board, that would be huge. Yeah, here comes the Shadow Sphere. Yep, so that's going on the big plant. And sack a token, draw some cards. Well, it means it's going to be hard to win next turn. Oh, there's a Grave Pack. That's actually pretty good. And then sack the Braids. Oh, this Grave Pack's actually going to be insane here. Wow. In the end, it's going to be the Grave Pack. I think that might let us steal this. Well, we're going to start turning some food into life. We'd have to spend a treasure, but we don't want to get too low. Up to 13, down to 8. Down to 7 from the Bitter Blossom. But now we have the Grave Pack to get rid of this token without taking... Oh, and a 1 ring. Well, definitely playing Grave Pack. Absolutely huge draw here. Huge, huge, huge. And now we can sack the fairy. Opponent is going to have to sack the plant, thankfully. We get a treasure. What an interesting game. So opponent goes to 12. Play the land. We could gain 9 life. Yeah, let's play Garna. Pass the turn. Actually, we have this Phyrexian Tower too. I was worried about Klothys getting turned on, but that's actually not as much of a concern, because if they actually turn it on, we can like sack Garna to Phyrexian Tower to make our opponent sack the Klothys. So you go to 6. You 1,000,000% should hit Phyrexian Tower. Not even, like, Phyrexian Tower is the card that is going to wreck you, but no, not Barbador. Oh, opponent. Okay, well, that is a legal choice. I think Phyrexian Tower is like 1,000,000 times more important here, but I mean, I guess that's also scary. We could potentially amass a pretty big creature out of it. So I could see why your opponent would be scared of it, but I don't know how they win with us having Phyrexian Tower out. That's gonna be their problem. Phyrexian Tower Grave Pack is kind of a thing. Passing? All right, well, sack food, gain some life. Back up to 12. Untap. Make a fairy. Play a Castle Lockwayne. Play Lagomos. Whenever a creature you control dies, draw a card if it was attacking. Otherwise, it deals a damage to each opponent. All right, so it gets around the late line. Well, I think we might be finally getting there. So we make the Elemental. Get a treasure. So opponent takes 10. And then Witch's Oven can sack the Elemental. 2 damage because we got Garna. And then, yeah, our opponent really, I mean, I guess in the end it probably wouldn't have mattered, but this Phyrexian Tower, the Phyrexian Tower is going to get them. And we don't even have to cast the 1 ring. Yeah, sack it. Ping ya. Teaching some Arena Zoomers about Blood Moon, and that was just a really good game. Like, our opponent's deck functioned well, our deck functioned well, it was back and forth, close, interesting. That's why Brawl's a great format. Well, Historic Brawl is a great format. That was just a really, really fun game. I gotta say, like, some of my most favorite games of Magic recently have been Historic Brawl of all things, which I never would have guessed. So, well, we didn't teach our opponent about Blood Moon this time, but we did have a good time playing Magic, which is always nice. Blood Moon. Do we keep this? I do like Black Market Connection. Trickery and Chaos Warp are kind of funny. This kills a Planeswalk. Yeah, you know what? I think we're gonna try this. We might regret this. This hand definitely, really, truly, definitely needs us to draw a 3rd land. If we don't draw a 3rd land, we're gonna do nothing. But I like how good this hand is at dealing with Tasha. Like, that's nice. I've definitely played against Tasha before and just had it like stick and then ultimate and win. So I like that we have multiple ways of dealing with it. Well, not a land. If we get 1 land, we also get to Black Market Connections, which should solve all of life's problems. Time Stream Navigator. Oh no. Oh no. We're going to teach Arena Zoomers about why you should mulligan 2 landers. Gets in for 1. Boom, cycle that. We hit a land. Unfortunately, now we're pretty shields down. I think we just had to do that, but now we can't trickery this Tasha. Opponent's on the all basic island plan. Gets and hits us. Can we draw even more lands? No. Well, I mean, we got Black Market Connections. Hey, okay, that actually draws cards and makes treasures. So this can take an extra turn for 4 mana, but only after our opponent has 10 permanents. So they are a ways away. Oh, don't bounce it. Oh, Brazen Borrower. D tier, but very good right now. Well, we're gonna discard Oathsworn, I guess. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, this is looking super bad. Waterfront District. I guess a Blood Moon would still do something here. Chandra. Well, let's once again try a Black Market Connections. Okay, Brazen Borrower. We might just be too far behind here after missing all these land drops. Bounded Island. Tasha. Opponent steals our Oathsworn. We drop to 18. Well, let's kill ourselves a bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I can activate Time Stream. So I think we have to play Mayhem Devil. Okay, so play this untapped down to 10. Eaten Alive. Iara's Oathsworn. Sack the token. Ping the Brazen Borrower. Wait, why does this have ward? I was wondering why there was a warning. Okay, alchemy, just alchemy things. Sure. Well, sack the treasure. Kill the time stream. Yeah, that didn't go exactly as well as we had hoped. Silly alchemy cards. Target opponent puts a creature card of their choice from their graveyard on the battlefield under control. That creature gains ward 2. Is that a rebalance? I don't know. No one ever plays this card outside of exactly Historic Brawl on rare occasions. Make a treasure. We pass. We will discard Chandra. On our opponent's upkeep, we Chaos Warp. We pay the 2. Hey, spin into Giada. Yeah, we get the card from Chaos Warp, which is kind of hilarious. Okay, that actually sort of worked out. River's Rebuke. I mean, we only got 2 non-lands. Like, that doesn't do a ton. And passes. Well, play take Numa. That's actually kind of good for us because it means we're not dying to this Black Market Connections. We have to choose one. Whenever a creature attacks, put a -1/-1 counter on it. We need this not to ultimate somehow. I don't know how we achieve that, but that is part of our plan. Well, let's replay Giada. Play a Braids. I mean, I guess we're just going to end up having to kill it with this annihilating. Oh, there's a Blood Moon. Opponent has 7 basics, but none of our opponent's basics make black mana. So this Blood Moon actually does do something here. Oh no! Are you gonna take the Blood Moon? Actually, their correct play is probably to take the Annihilating Glare. Okay, the One Ring, that's actually fine, because I'm not sure we could play the One Ring this game anyway. Oh boy. Power 9 shuffled into the library. And ticks up. We're gonna only have 1 black source. That's also a little sketchy. We do need this to die though. Let's do it this way. Annihilating Glare. Sack the Giada. Get rid of the Tasha. Hit our opponent. Wait! Oh my goodness. Okay. I didn't realize that worked that way. Blood Moon. No black mana for you. Okay. So opponent, they're out of black mana, so they can't Tasha. Haha, it's a mountain. We do need to find a way to deal with this Oracle of Alpha now. Now let's play Lagomos. Make a door, hit ya. End of turn. Sack the token. Okay, season Pyro. Oh, we're gonna die to this Oracle. Opponent is going to attempt to steal our Lagomos. That would kill us, so I think we have to Tybalt's Trickery. This is scary. 1, 2, 3, opponent, eat to extinction. Okay, that's better than us immediately dying. Very slightly better, but it is slightly better than us immediately dying. Opponent gets and hits us. We really need to find a removal spell. We have 1.5 turns. We draw a black source. 1, 2, 3. Let's discard Black Market Connections, because that kills us. Discard Solemn Simulacrum. Play a Blood Artist. Token, get in, hit ya. Sack the token, drain you. I guess this Blood Artist sort of buys us a turn. Hits us, scries, down to 2. Watch them find, if they find Time Walk and win because of Time Walk in their 86 card deck, That always happens with Oracle. Somehow they always put the piece of power they need right on the top of their deck. Yeah. If we lose that way, I'm going to be a little bit salty. Somehow the Arena Zoomers would be teaching us about the Power 9. What? Okay. I don't know what that card does, but return target non-land permanent to your hand. Oh god. Okay, so there's a lot of Power 9 in our opponent's deck. Is there a way we can kill our opponent this turn? Well, I think we play Mayhem Devil. Play a land. Go to combat, make a token. Wow, takes it. Down to 4. So we can costly plunder. Sack Season Pyromancer. Trigger Blood Artist. Oh my god, we got there. My goodness. And a turd sack. Ping-ya, ping-ya. Whoa. That was a Blood Moon win. That was actually, I would not have believed it when our opponent played like 5 basic islands in a row. Blood Moon actually stopped our opponent from replaying Tasha, which we punted into multiple times, because who actually reads alchemy cards? But it stopped our opponent from replaying their black cards. So I guess, in a weird roundabout way, we kind of did end up teaching our opponent about Blood Moon in the least expected way. Normally, if your opponent plays 7 basic lands, Blood Moon is the worst not doing anything, but in this case, it's actually really good. So what did we learn this week about teaching Arena Zoomers about Blood Moon? So first off, Blood Moon itself. We saw it be really good in some matchups, although, as I said, it's pretty hit or miss in Historic Brawl, honestly. We ran into mono red decks, we ran into mono white decks. There were some decks that just really didn't care about Blood Moon, but that's actually kind of fine. Like, it's sad because our main goal is to teach our opponent about not playing Magic by locking them with Blood Moon, but it's kind of fine because Blood Moon's just one of our 100 cards, and we're really good at tutoring it up. So in the matchups where we can get people, we can use Lagomos or all of our other tutors to find it. In the matchups where it's bad, we can just let it chill in our deck and hopefully not draw it. So Blood Moon, we saw it just absolutely get people a few times. Other matchups, it didn't do anything, but such is life as a Blood Moon player. The card that really impressed me was Grave Pact. Grave Pact is actually just like kind of busted, and I think we got just as many salty scoops from Grave Packing Arena Zoomers as we did Blood Mooning them. It just kind of locks creatures out of the game, especially in a deck like this. It is so good at just making random creatures, sacking random creatures. We got out of some really sticky situations where we're like about to die, and then all of a sudden we find our Grave Pact, sack some stuff, your board is gone. If you ever play anything else, we sack another Biomancer token or another Bitter Blossom token, and we just kind of lock creatures out of the game for as long as Grave Pact stays on the battlefield. So Grave Pact, I think, was honestly maybe even saltier than Blood Moon and maybe even stronger than Blood Moon. So those cards really showed out. The other thing I wanted to say is this deck actually just felt really good. I know we're playing a random uncommon commander, and you think, oh, uncommon commanders, not really that strong. I don't think that's true of Lagomos. Lagomos is really powerful, really synergistic. Grave Pact is actually like absurd with Lagomos, because remember, Lagomos wants 5 creatures to die to be able to tutor. It doesn't say 5 of our creatures, it's any 5 creatures. So once we get a Grave Pact down, it's pretty easy to like sacrifice 2 or 3 of our creatures, which will force our opponent to sacrifice 2 or 3 of their creatures, which adds up to 5 or more creatures. Then we get to tutor up whatever the best card is in our deck, do it again the next turn. So I was really impressed with Lagomos, and the deck actually just played really well. This deck is kind of interesting because normally when I build Historic Brawl, I build it like commander decks where I'm playing like a ton of mana rocks and stuff like that. This deck is not built that way. There's like no mana rocks in this deck. There's really not much ramp at all, but we're pretty efficient. So we're really this aristocrat sacrifice synergy deck, and it felt really, really powerful. Sure, like all of our cards are basically 1/1s for the most part, but that adds up once we start sacrificing things and locking with Grave Pact and locking with Blood Moon. So I think we lost like twice out of 10 games, which I don't really care that much about record in Historic Brawl. We're playing it to have fun, but the deck did feel very competitive. So if you're looking for a pretty powerful uncommon commander with a lot of cool synergies that works well with Blood Moon and works well with Grave Pact and works well with Bitter Blossom, I guess it works well. Also, Goblin Bombardment, really good in this deck. It works well with a lot of the Enchanted Tales. Lagomos is a pretty sweet option that doesn't even cost you a rare mythic wild card. So anyway, that's been teaching Arena Zoomers about Blood Moon and also very much Grave Pact. That's been our deck for today. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed it. And I will talk to you soon. Looking for even more Magic? Well, check out the video where we built this saltiest deck possible just to see if anyone would play us, or maybe the one where we played every single land destruction spell that exists on Magic Arena.